Okay, first of all, I am going to explain the ingredients. We are going to use vegetable oil. This is the first element. Any type of vegetable oil. We are going to use canola oil or soy oil or corn oil, any type of vegetable oil. At the first time, I recommend start the process with the fresh oil, and after that you can practice with used oil. Okay, vegetable oil. The second one is methanol. You can use methanol or ethanol. Both of them are commonly used. Methanol, that bottle, the yellow bottle, is basically injector cleaner. Is pure methanol. Okay, I recommend that bottle. You found it in any automotive shop. Those bottles for injector cleaners. This is methanol. Okay, we are going to use a small amount of methanol, and also we are going to use hydroxide of sodium or hydroxide of potassium. This is the white powder that you use in your home to clean the pipes. Yes, when the pipes are clogged, you use that element. Yes, in this particular case, this one, in this example, this is hydroxide of potassium. We can use hydroxide of potassium or hydroxide of sodium. Right now, I am going to explain the formula and the composition of each one in the formula. Alright, those are the main components, and now other elements that we are going to use are like pans, jars, mixers, containers with levels. We need gloves, we need a scale, yeah, thermometers, all the elements. Okay, this is the formula. In order to make biodiesel, the first element is vegetable oil, and we are going to preheat the vegetable oil around 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, in the stove we are going to prepare 500 milliliters of vegetable oil, and we are going to preheat it until 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This formula is from UDA Biodiesel Supply. It's a company specialized in biodiesel. I copied the formula. Thank you for UDA Biodiesel Supply. Excellent. And you can multiply those amounts in order to produce more biodiesel. This is the composition, this is the formula, and you can multiply those amounts in order to produce higher quantities. I am going to explain later how to use the biodiesel processor, the equipment to produce in high scale, in industrial scale, biodiesel. Okay, the first element is the oil, the vegetable oil. We are going to preheat it at around 130 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the first one. Okay, after that, we are going to preheat it, vegetable oil. In other container, we are going to mix it methanol with hydroxide of sodium or hydroxide of potassium, depending. If it's a hydroxide of sodium, we are going to use 2.8 grams. If it's hydroxide of potassium, we are going to use 3.5 grams, right? We are going to use potassium or sodium. And we are going to mix it with methanol in a container. Okay, after that, when the oil is preheated and in other container the methanol is mixed with the hydroxide, we are going to put both of them together and we are going to mix it for 25 minutes, and after that we are going to let 24 hours, and the next day we have biodiesel on top and glycerin in the bottom. Glycerin, yes. Alright, okay, in a container I mix it any of those with the methanol together, yeah, and we mix it, and after that we have on top biodiesel and in the bottom we have glycerin, and after that we are going to separate. And this is the company. Thank you, UDA Biodiesel Supply. Mr. Blair, Professor Blair, thank you very much for the formula. We share that formula with yours. I hope that you fabricate biodiesel in the future. Okay, my friend, this is the process, and right now we are going to do the process step by step. Step number 1, we are going to separate 500 milliliters of vegetable oil in order to preheat the vegetable oil. Yeah, vegetable oil. Okay, in a jar with the marks, we are going to separate 500 milliliters. The amount of the elements is important. Okay, 500. And now we are going to pour the oil on the pan in order to preheat the oil around 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, that's the first step. And while the oil reaches the temperature, we are going to prepare the methanol with the hydroxide. Okay, we are going to let for a couple of minutes until the temperature rises. Number 2 is measure 100 milliliters of methanol. Yes, in a jar, we are going to prepare 100 milliliters of methanol. That's the methanol, and we are going to collect 100 milliliters properly measured on that container. Correct? Those are 100 milliliters. And now, perfect. And now we are going to separate 3.5 grams of potassium hydroxide or 2.8 grams of sodium hydroxide. All right, any of those are okay. In this particular case, I have potassium hydroxide, and we are going to measure 3.5 grams of potassium hydroxide. We are going to use the scale. Exactly, we are going to prepare the scale. This is 3.5 grams, and exactly those are the grams, and this is the potassium hydroxide. Perfect. And now I am going to mix it, the methanol with the potassium hydroxide. All right, that's the next step, and we are going to mix it carefully, the potassium hydroxide with the methanol, and we are going to try to emulsify both of them together. Exactly. For about 5 minutes. You can mix it until both of them are completely blended. Number 5, we are going to check the temperature of the oil. You remember? Okay, right now is around 130, 134. Okay, this is good. And now we are going to pour on the heated oil the container. Exactly. We are going to pour the oil preheated over there. And right now the oil is ready to be mixed with the methanol and hydroxide. Perfect. And right now I mixed both of them together, the methanol with the catalyst and the oil. And now we are going to mix it for minimum 5 minutes in order to mix it properly. And after that we are going to let for 24 hours. Exactly, for 24 hours. And the next day probably we have on top biodiesel and in the bottom glycerin. Yes, my friend. Okay, we are going to let 24 hours, and after that this is the result. This is the exactly. We have on top biodiesel, in the bottom glycerin. The glycerin is a subproduct used in the pharmaceutical industry to fabricate shampoos and detergents. Yes, you can sell. There are companies dedicated to buy glycerin to fabricate those products. Alright, right now we have a biodiesel on top and glycerin in the bottom. Right now we are going to separate both of them. We are going to drain in a separate container each of those components. We are going to remove the glycerin. Yes, I remove the biodiesel in one container. Carefully. biodiesel in one container and the glycerin in another container. The glycerin is heavy. Yeah, biodiesel and glycerin. Yes, my friend, this is the final product. I have pure biodiesel and glycerin in the bottom.